It's all going down on Tyrone Bowman Live. All right, everybody, welcome to another edition here, another hot blockbuster topic. And I'm going to right down to it. I'm not going to waste any time. For those of you who have subscribed to the channel, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you coming on board. I'm going to show you a video from Hype Plus News, or Hype News Plus. Videos for educational purposes only and for information purposes only. Recently, CNN aired a program about Black food stamp users to its viewers. Not too long ago, I did a state-by-state deep analysis, and you can go up the video for yourself. Over 10,000 plus people watched it, about who gets SNAP benefits. And the majority of the people, according to my sources that I checked out, that are government sources, majority of the people who get food stamps are white people. So let's check out this video from Hype News. The headline reads, CNN, quote, called out, end quote, for only airing, quote, Black food stamp users, end quote, to viewers. And we know that's a misnomer. We know that's not true. But in their quest to get ratings, no wonder Don Lemon had to sue them for a large amount of money for being unceremoniously fired from CNN because he didn't toe the line and do what they wanted him to do. And then I found out later that his boss was a MAGA Republican connected to you-know-who, and he was fired. Check out this video from Hype News. Listen to it carefully, and I'll be back with my comments. And you know I will go full throttle.
And I'm still looking at my bank account.
Reporting live from Ivers Club in Atlanta, Hype Plus News, I'm John Alba.
And I'm still looking at my bank account like, but why isn't it cutting it? Why isn't it enough?
I have to come to pantries, and sometimes I don't have, all the food that I need to, to provide for my family.
What would it mean for you and your family if you don't get that money in November?
For the recent viral conversation around food stamps and SNAP benefits, many credible news outlets have begun adding to the coverage, interviewing people who use government assistance amid programs being cut off due to the current government shutdown. CNN, who according to its mission wants to inform, engage, and empower the world and considers themselves as truth seekers and storytellers, is now being questioned if they are about telling the truth, or more so, how much of it do they tell? On Thursday, a video would be released across CNN's social pages of a Black mom being interviewed about her struggles after not receiving her usual government assistance. The mother would even proceed to tell cameras that she felt like a failure despite having a college degree and working 40 hours a week.
Onita Norris is a single mom who works at a university, and she relies on SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps, to help feed her family. The government shutdown has cut back funding for the program.
I went to college. I did all the things they say you're supposed to do. I'm trying to do all that I can. And yeah, I feel like I'm failing them.
Now, as we have learned, a part of our coverage here.
Let me jump in here real quick. First of all, why does hunger have to be a black and white issue in this nation of polarization that only focuses on race, black versus white, and in between? Hunger is non-discriminate. Hunger is neither black nor white, Mexican, Spanish. Hunger has no nationality, ethnic origin, or creed, faith, or religion. Hunger is hunger. Why is it that they only chose a select group of black women? This report was heavily edited to specialize with and focus on. This is a college-educated woman who feels like she's a failure. Precious daughter, precious lady, precious sister. If you come across my timeline, my feed, I want to talk to you. I want to interview you live. Don't you dare feel like you're a failure. You're not a failure because of the governmental shutdown. You're not a failure because you don't have enough money now to take care of your family. That does not make you a failure. It just means you, like me and everybody else, were going through quote unquote hard times. These are unprecedented times that we're living in when avarice and greed among the wealthy and the privileged is running at an all-time high. Greed is on parade. Avarice is on parade. Narcissism is on parade. Greedy billionaire CEOs of corporation never getting enough money. They want more and more and more. Hell no to CNN's report. The report is just being nice. You were being discriminatory and biased toward Black people. And you only singled out Black women. And I don't want to hear that crap about, well, it was an oversight. We didn't mean for it to come across that way. Yes, you did. And that's why you all don't like independent voices working for CNN. You don't want strong Black men and women there because we're not going to sit down and deal with this crap and this garbage. She is not a failure. So what? She's a single mother. There are many single white mothers in this country, and there are many white women who are head of single households and who get food stamps and every type of governmental benefit. And they don't discriminate against them. They don't want to highlight them. They don't want to talk about them. If they do, it's with sensitivity, it's with compassion, it's with understanding. Everybody is in the line at this point in time. The food lines are crowded, the church lines are crowded, the community lines are crowded. People are trying to take care of their families. This is worse than the Great Depression. Heck with that report. The report is biased and is bigoted and it's racist. I don't care. Get mad. That's what it is. Over here, I'm going to tell it the way it is. No chaser. I get directly to the point and tell it is. Tell it the way it is. I don't care who it's coming from. It doesn't matter to me. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And their report is wrong. Now go out and find 3 white women and talk about them. The same way that you try to make it seem like Black women are lazy, Black women are shiftless. You try to make it seem like the Black women are on welfare and always asking for a handout. You got more white people in welfare lines than you do Black people. More MAGA white people are in the food lines to get the food baskets and the food boxes, and they voted for this mess that's going on in the country. Let's get back to the video.
About food stamps, the majority of stamp recipients, according to reports, are white Americans at 37%, while Black Americans make up 26% of food stamp users. So yes, this Black mother's story was real, but for some in the comments, it further projected a stereotype and a slight towards Black people, that they're the ones who always need help. While one user would go on to say, interviews like these do humanize specific situations, but please interview a multitude of individuals from the group. You specifically selected a Black woman to further push stereotypes. Most SNAP benefits do not go to Black women, but I do appreciate the airtime focus on this. People deserve to eat. While another was...
Hold up. Nah, they're not going to get off that easy. See, he's using platitudes to try to cover it up. No, we're not going to cover it up. It's just white racist. What they did, they knew exactly what they were doing. Those racist producers, those racist editors in the back, they selectively chose these particular 3 Black women. See, this is called systemic racism visualization. That front and center before the whole world to see. Thinking that they'll just slide under the microscope and no one is going to say anything about it. Wrong. We are saying something about it, and we detest it, and we don't like it. So what? The mother's having a hard way to go. Evidently, she's working for a university, but the university is not paying her enough money to be able to adequately take care of herself and her family. Just because you have a college degree does not mean that you're going to be paid what that degree necessitates you to earn. First thing you want to say, well, Mr. Bowman, do you have any experience in this particular field, and how long have you been doing it? And we'll get back to you. How about this? You won't get back to me because I don't want to work for you. If that's the type of narcissistic, bigoted, racist attitude you have, take you in that company, and you know what you can do with it. And that's why a lot of people get upset, they get dejected, they give up, they throw in the towel. Make your degree work for you. Become self-employed. If you've got a talent, you've got a gift, you've got an ability, don't wait for somebody to come to look for you. Make them come to you. You don't have to stand out there and beg and plead to get a job. Make it happen. Shucks, go on YouTube. Showcase your talents. Create your own YouTube channel. Get your own 501c3. Make people believe in you.
Hey, why these interviews are always black people when it's white people that are mostly on food stamps. Now, to further investigate, we decided to take a more in-depth look at the food stamp coverage CNN would air across their social pages. And we would notice that they mainly only showed black people, and more specifically, black women. Now, just 7 days before the mentioned Black Mother story would air, CNN would release another video on the food stamp shutdown, this time at a food bank in D.C. And guess who they will only interview amongst the recipients there? A black woman.
Tens of millions of Americans are at risk of losing federal food stamp benefits funded through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
I have to come to pantries, and sometimes I don't have, all the food that I need to provide for my family. I just hope and pray for everybody that's out there being, in the same situation as me.
Now, interesting enough, while covering some of the federal workers who now need assistance, a CNN reporter would bypass the rural areas where a good majority of white food stampers live, as well as white residents lining up at food banks, and decided to travel to Queens, New York to interview another black woman about her struggles and needing assistance.
Checkmate, baby. All the white governmental workers who have been laid off or fired, furloughed, they're out in the lines just like black people. But they don't want to talk about them. They don't want to put them on camera. Oh, many of them are college-educated people. But right now, they're in the same lines as black people and Latinos and Mexican and Chinese and Italians are right now, waiting to get the help that they need. This thing in America always has to come down to race. We're tired of this garbage. We're tired of the visceration and stigmatization and marginalization of black people. We're tired of it. And then when we open up our mouths and speak out against it, you all have a problem with it. Then you'll just have to have a problem with it. We don't care. Be upset. Be angry. If you're going to report about a pandemic and an issue about food, then put white people in the report too. Don't just put black people, put Latino people in the report. Put Mexicans in the report. Put Asian people in the report. They're all inclusive. This is a stigmatization to marginalize one particular group of people so you can statistically report and say it's only black people who get food stamps, and we know that's a lie. Where do you think these fired federal workers went to? To their local welfare departments to get food stamps. Why? Because they live in white suburbia? It means it's not important? Come on with that foolishness. Come on, get a grip. Report fairly. Report justly.
Money around just to get by, going into our savings just to get by.
Here in Queens at a food distribution site, we're speaking with people here who are emotional, worried about how they're going to pay their bills, and knowing this is the only way they're going to put food on the table.
And literally just a week before this DC coverage on October 24th, they would post another government employee having to go to a food bank, and she too was a black woman.
I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been in this position.
Denise Blake says she drove over an hour to this food bank for federal workers. Blake is one of more than 1 million federal workers going without pay. She didn't go home empty-handed.
Aliyah, love you're here.
I mean, it's easy to spot me on the court, I bet.
But you've always been like that. See me? Yeah. Before you hear me, all done.
Thank you.
So where are the white federal workers at? Why aren't they being talked about? Straight up. Why?
How many people are in your house?
It's myself, my daughter, and I have a sister there.
Now, when it did come to the focus of food stamp users, that same exact day, they will post another interview of a recipient, and we don't even have to say what she was.
What would it mean for you and your family if you don't get that money in November?
To have those benefits cut off can be an issue for me to get healthy food for me and my daughter. It can put people in desperate situations to make mistakes that they cannot come back from.
Again, to remind you, 37% of food stamp recipients are white Americans, compared to 26% of Black Americans. Yet Black people are the ones constantly being interviewed about it. Our investigation would further reveal that just several days before their story on the reported federal worker would be posted online, while breaking news on federal employees using food banks, they would cover the organization Capital Area Food Bank. And as it appears from their own story, this organization mainly serves a Black community in DC and Virginia. Another conscious decision to not cover white communities of food stamp users. While trying to verify who Capital Area Food Bank mainly served for this report, on the front page of the website, we would notice who? A Black mother and her child as the face of this mission. Now, combining them...
No. It's planned that way. It is systematically planned that way from the white racist producers, the white racist executive producers, and the white racist producers at large. That's how they want it to appear to be. They want it to appear that only Black people are the ones that are being affected by this, when they know darn well there's many white folk unemployed and in these food banks as well. Hunger is a problem. And they got some old white woman as the face of CNN asking the most insidious, stupid, asinine questions. She's probably making over $1 million a year sitting in an anchor's chair. Tyrone Bowman Live. I'll be right back right after this. Now let's get back to concluding this article here, because right is right and wrong is wrong. My people got to have somebody to speak up for them, toe the line, and make sure that we don't continuously get eviscerated and discriminated against in every aspect of life from the news media. The job I do is not a light job, it's a hard job, but somebody has got to do it. Heck out of here with that foolishness. Go find the white folk and talk about them and report them, CNN. Run tell that.
On views from all the stories just mentioned, the clips have collectively reached millions of people. Out of their consecutive videos posted on their social media accounts about the food stamp shutdown, CNN would mainly only showcase Black people, and none of their videos would feature any of the 37% of white Americans who use the same service. So either there's a deliberate agenda to highlight Black people as the needy, or maybe these reporters were too lazy to travel outside their cities.
No, they don't get no credit.
Of less fortunate white Americans live. Media bias is a dangerous thing. And just to give CNN the benefit of doubt,
Nope.
we would even run a search on their main site to see if the same is being done on there as well. And to the surprise of some, we would see stories of white food stamp users in their archived reports. But again, none in their recent social media coverage, which from our assumption is viewed the most. Just this week, reports have started to circulate on the term digital blackface, in which some non-black users are using AI to reinforce negative stereotypes about black people, in which has been mainly used a part of the food stamp conversation. So to only broadcast those same negative stereotypes does the same type of damage, in my opinion, as it alters people's perception and the true reality.
We finna pay for this with.
Let me tell you something. These are nothing more than white, racist, bigoted computer programmers behind the scenes, hiding behind their computers with AI-generated videos of mockery, chicanery, and foolishness. That's who they are. Boys out in Silicon Valley. Racist, bigoted. Probably KKK members and part of MAGA as well. They're sitting back there generating these stupid video stereotypical things about black people, and then when black people get off and retaliate verbally, they can't handle it. You notice these computer programmers are always anonymous. They never show their faces. You never hear their voices. But the damage that they do is it's acrimonious in the sense that they're always pinpointing and trying to stereotypically put black people in a bad light. And let me tell you something about our people. We're more resilient, more smarter, more brilliant, more intelligent, more creative, and more resourceful than most of you all will ever be. You try being black in America from the days of slavery up until now and survive and live to tell the story. Look at this AI-generated foolishness right here. Now, this is AI-generated.
Our EBT cards.
Big fat black
we're not
women.
tipping the waiter nothing too.
That's how they
What's
do
the
it.
issue? If we keep pushing one narrative over and over, don't you think it programs us to repeat cycles and thought patterns? Don't you think subconsciously this influences black women on how they should view themselves? Don't you think it further makes people across the globe see black people from one perspective without seeing us as fully capable people who
Ball,
can
what's
handle
up?
real opportunities and have for years, instead of limited handouts? Malcolm X once said, the media is the most powerful entity on earth.
I'll tell you something,
They have the
Stephen.
power
I'm
to
the
make
voice
the
of my
innocent
ancestors,
guilty
whether you like
and
it or
to make
not.
the guilty innocent, and that's power. To add to his quote, the media has the power to make the king look poor and the poor look like kings. Yes, black people only make up 12% of the nation while representing 26% of food stamp users. However, we can't ignore that white Americans are the majority of the recipients. We here at Hype Plus have always strived on giving accurate information to our viewers with no extra agenda outside the facts and a perspective that doesn't only reinforce negative stereotypes. Thanks to honest people online, White Food Stamp Nation has been more visible than ever before, and we're certain that this type of coverage helps us all progress and address the issues directly. Let's talk about them in the comments below. What are your thoughts about white food stamp recipients not being covered by the mainstream media? Save the day for the latest news and comedy, culture, and sports by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. And if you enjoy content like this, check out hypersclub.com to get a membership to watch full interviews and more original content. And if you have a story you think we should cover, send us a message now at hypealerts.com. Reporting live from Hypers Club in Atlanta for Hype Plus News, I'm John Olive.
Big shout out to Hype Plus News for this video. Check out their channel. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what my thoughts are. It's called systemic racism and bigotry. And it's institutionalized racism. Oh, it's real. It's damn real. So, to all the men and women out there who are out there struggling and hurting and suffering, your suffering is not in vain. Your laboring is not in vain. Your toiling is not in vain. You keep on believing in a divine one and keep believing in yourself. And you're going to come out of the circumstances that you find yourself in. And for all you racist, bigoted folk out there that are AI generating things behind the scenes, well, whatever. Never surrender. Never quit. Let me holler at you for a minute, Steve. I got about 1 minute to respond to your comment. You know, it's white folk like you, or wherever you are, I don't care what you are at this point in time. It's okay for everybody else to talk about their race, their creed, their color, and who they are and how proud they are. But you all don't like it when black folks stand up and say, I'm black and I'm proud, or black is beautiful. So you all can't stand that because you think that you all have the advantage over us. In actuality, you do not. So bottom line, when you come here, if you don't like what I say, then get the hell off the page and go someplace else and you go troll them. But over here, you don't run nothing on this end. Know that. Never surrender. Never quit.